What's good, y'all? And welcome to my review for this week's episode of Persona 5 Animation. I gotta say, this episode was fucking amazing. I would say I definitely probably like this a lot more than the SEO episode we got this week, but Hiroaka is king for this week. Like, out of the three series, Hiroaka's number one, Persona 5 will be number two, and SEO will be number three. Now, one thing you gotta say about this episode, I loved how the fact this episode didn't really just focused on the side aspects of the game of Persona 5, not just main story, and that is the confidant, because this episode was predominantly just confidants and little bits and pieces like that are kind of related to the main plot, but this was mostly focused on two Kawakami's and Ryuji's, which I was glad, because I was so happy, like, when we saw the next episode preview last week, I was like, yes, we're doing Kawakami's confidant, hell yeah, because Kawakami's confidant was probably one of my favorites of the whole game. Hers and Futawa's were probably like my top two. And Ryuji's was, and we also focused on Ryuji, but we kind of got like all of Ryuji's confidant, at least a summarized version of it throughout this whole episode, which is nice to see, because I really think Ryuji's confidant. So yeah, let's begin. So he starts it off with Akira acquiring another persona, and we see they get a bunch of these items for that, or the spoils of their the spoils of their war, or spoils about however we're gonna set it, and it's just a bunch of dirty clothes. But this is actually very active in the game, because in the game, sometimes you would get item drops when you defeat enemies or bosses that were like, or open chests that were like dirty clothes, but you would have to watch them to actually get them, whether there's like, some random place or like a shirt or something that, like, up to your stats or something. I like how they add that in the game. Then next scene, we see them actually at this bathhouse, and we get some nice quality 10 out of 10 level fan service from On. Now, we don't really see much, like, we don't see, like, boob shit, but we did get some nice, we got some side, we got some little bit of that boob action, got some thighs, for those people that are into thighs. I'm not really into thighs, I don't really understand what's so attractive about thighs, but that's just me. So yeah, then we also see Akira and the gang, they're, like, blushing, because it almost made it look like they were, like, watching her, but of course it worked, because, they separate these things. And then we just see there's this old guy that's like, that like turns like the hot wires, like, calm down. And Akira's just like, and gets like really close to Akira's like, please don't touch me. And then when they get out, Morgan's like, hey, Lady Hot, I kept watch, blah blah blah. She's like, oh, I appreciate it. And then she asks like, what's up with Akira in the crew? They're like, nothing. And Ryuji's just like, can we just figure who's our next target, please? And so after that, they talk about the Chitta Fancy, where we then see the poll that's just been had. Do you believe in the fantasies of hearts, which is that separate, which is done with something in the game. One that was like that would always be like in your loading screens and such. Hey, here's our approval rating. I like that aspect in there. And then we actually head over, and they're wondering, and then Morgan tells them like, hey, you guys know that we need to like probably not pick so many, high profile targets. Or at least do a better job of taking down these guys, because he talks about how Ryuji's grades are slipping, and he flunked the exams, and so that we need to make sure that we keep a good balance between two, so that people don't get suspicious about about us being the fan thieves. So then we get over to Ryuji's place, where he finds this little pamphlet or whatever advertising a maid service. Now, I believe in the game, I think it was Mishima that found it and then brought it to Akira and Ryuji. I could be wrong, maybe it was actually Ryuji in the game, but I'm pretty sure it was actually Mishima in the game. I could be wrong on that, though, so don't quote me on that. If I'm right or wrong, please tell me in the comment section below. My memory's a little off on that stuff, so yeah. Where then we kind of just see Akira walking down the hallway with that Persona 5 OST in the background. Like, I love how the anime is using the Persona 5 OST. That OST is so damn good. And then we see Akira walking down this hallway, and I like that they added this clever little reference that only real game players would get, mostly, and that is of this character that's kind of like hiding behind like this little little corner and be like, he's mine, and it's actually, and I don't really remember her name, but she was kind of like this little side character that you would see that when you walk down the store, she was kind of like, she has like this obsession with this one guy that she likes. And there's actually like one of the things you could do in the metaverse is actually, I think it was the guy that she stalked actually comes to them and be like, hey, can you take care of this crazy chick? Or maybe it was her, I'm not really sure. Where if you went in and did it, she would actually become a normal person and then would just talk to him normal, not hiding behind corners, just mumbling to herself. That was pretty cool. I liked, and also Haru also had a little cameo as well, so that was also a nice touch as well. And so then we then see Kawakami, she's teaching, and then we see Ryuji texting Akira. I know, and yes, in case Ren, yes, I know his name's Ren, I never really like the idea. Like, I prefer Akira, so I'm just gonna stick to calling him Akira. I might call him Ren on the occasion, but yeah, for any guys that are kind of new to my reviews of Persona 5, that's why. If you case wonder why I'm always calling him Akira, that's why. I know his name's Ren, yeah, but I'm sticking to Akira because it sounds cooler than Ren. Anyway, so, and so he texts him about, like, this thing he found. And then, once they're, like, alone, and then he tells him, and then my boy Ryuji starts gushing out about this shit. He's like, yeah, bro, I made home service. Yo, I gotta ride you into this shit, right? He's like, yeah. Come on, man, yeah, we'll say, but don't you want to blow off some steam, too? And he gets really close to Akira when he says that. And then, Akira's like, like, the man is lost for words. Probably because he's like, and then Mishima's like, I couldn't help it over here. And he claims that the reason he's joining Akira and the crew on this venture titled Codename Maidwatch is for research purposes. Yeah, research, Mishima. Really? That's what they all say. I doubt you're really doing this for research purposes. So then, they make the call. And then they go to the vacant room in, I believe it's Ryuji's apartment building, because, someone moved out. And so, so then, she knocks at the door, the maid. Oh my god, anime owners were probably so shocked when they saw this. This is hilarious. Okay, so, then she walks in. And Akira, no, she doesn't walk in. Then she starts knocking on the door like, hey, I'm here, blah, blah, blah. And then this is when everyone starts panicking. Akira, Ryuji, and Mishima. They start panicking like, oh shit. So then they're like, Akira, you take care of this. And then Mishima and Ryuji hide behind the window. And so then she walks in, and it's Kawakami. Yes, our homeroom teacher is a maid. Her name is Becky, and then she does the whole cliche maid thing, like, hey, you're maid, blah, blah, blah. Me personally, I'm not really into that kind of maid shit. That's like way too otaku for me. Like, I probably would never go to a maid cafe, honestly, guys, because I'd probably be harder, because I'll probably try so hard not to cringe. Anyway, and then she goes on and on about the services while getting really close to Kira. And Kira's blushing and he's sweating like crazy. He's like, it reminds me of the Key and Peele skit where Peele was like, where his wife was like, the girl in this skit was that like, hey, what happened to the history? Did you clear the history? And he's like, starts sweating like crazy whenever his excuse don't end work. She's like, yeah, but this doesn't work because this and this and this. And he's like, oh shit. Like, that's like Akira. He's sweating buckets right now. I'm sorry, I'm like, this episode was honestly probably one of my favorites, Persona 5. And so then she also talks about like, we also got special services. And Akira's like, oh shit. And then she's like, oh, you got very healthy skin, master. Wait, are you young? Like a high school? Are you in high school? And he says, and I love that the anime did this. He says, I'm a dad. Now in the game, there were 3 options you could pick for this question. I'm pretty sure these were the 3, although I could be wrong. One of them was actually, spilling the beans, saying like, yes, I'm a high schooler. 2, you were college. And 3, you were a dad. I love that A1 picked the dad option. That was hilarious. Good on you, A1, for that one. So, after that, and then she's like, oh, okay, you definitely look, you're pretty young, so save on those, special services when you become a little bit more mature, master. And then, she's like, beginning to leave, and then Akira, and then, Ryuji and Mishima were like, oh, come on! And then, Kawakami hears them, and she's like, she leaves. And they, like, make manually bounce. And she's like, wait, I know that voice. Sakamoto? And Akira, like, walks up and she's like, Miss Kawakami? And then they both have that oh shit moment when Akira realizes it's the maid is his homeroom teacher, and Miss Kawakami realizes that oh shit that Versus Caller was one of her students. And then she tells like, hey, we speak nothing of this. And she's like, oh yeah, I'll just pretend you canceled it. And then she leaves, and like, that whole section was just hilarious to rewatch it. And I also say the anime did better just the way that it was filmed, everything. The voice acting was spectacular. Like, A1, good on you there. That was just spectacular to watch. And so after that glorious moment, like, I honestly say that was definitely better in the anime than it was in the game. That Kawakami is amazing. It was hilarious. Anyway, after that, we see that actually one of the teachers, the English teacher, is actually interrogating Kawakami because she knows that she leaves early and all this shit. So she's wondering like what she's doing because when Akira when Kawakami found out that it was Akira that was her that was her client, I guess you could say, or her master for this particular evening. She was like, "Oh, was it her?" Because she's been snooping around a lot. So yeah, and then she's like starts interrogating like, "Why are you leaving early? Why are you doing this? Why?" Are you... Akira comes in. He like kind of helps out the situation. He's like, "Oh, Miss Kawakami, I have another question for you." And she's like, "Oh, another question." She's like, "Oh," and then she tells like, "Oh yeah, his Akira's questions are complicated, so I take time after school to help him out." And she's like, and then she turns again, it's a complete 180. She's like, "Oh, you are now the ideal teacher, Miss Kawakami. I know you. How dare I hold suspicions against you? Bye." And she's like, "Do you think I owe you now, Kira?" She's like, "You look like you were in a bind. I was just helping out." And so then he gets a text from Ryuji, and this is when the episode switches to Ryuji's confidant. Now, I believe also in the beginning episode we also see a little bit of Yusuke. He's like, where it's like, oh, after they acquired the new persona, he started drawing, which I think that was stuff that was like the start of Yusuke's confidant, or that could have been part of the game. I'm not really sure on that front. And then we see where they have their little training, which is something that he did in Ryuji's confidant. They have their training. Then after that, a couple of the track members come up to them, and he tells them that they're actually reformed the track team. It's coming back after everything that went down with Kama Shithead. And and then when Ryuji's like, "Wait, what? They're bringing back the track team?" They're like, "Tuh!" They like turn their chin to him like they're rich snobs, and then they're like, "Oh, you're the transfer student." So then they leave, and then Akira then once he gets back home to LeBlanc, he uses the payphone while Sojiro's busy with making curry. Being all stealth-like, he calls up Kawakami again, or I should say the maid service, and calls up Kawakami, and where I believe this was actually all anime original. I don't think any of this was actually in the game, although I could be wrong with that because I don't recall. Because at this point, Akira actually tells Kawakami really everything, giving her all the necessary context about why Ryuji is like how he is right now. He tells her, about his mom, about all the shit that Kama Shithead did, and then while he's telling her, she can connect the dots herself, and we're like, okay, that's why this and this and this and this. So now she has a much better understanding on why Ryuji is like he's not just some random edgy troublemaker. She understands why he is like this. Well, he is because him having to deal, him having being a son to a single mom and all that shit. And all the shit Kama Shithead did, she understands why Ryuji is the way he is. And then, also after that, we find out that actually the new coach, I guess you can say, for the new track team, was actually the guy that worked under Kama Shithead. Meaning, he's as much of an asshole as he is, minus all probably the rapey parts. Hopefully. Ugh. Where they actually go to this a bar or this restaurant. Akira and Ryuji kind of infiltrate it, and then they kind of listen into the dude's conversation while he's drunk, and he's listening "Oh yeah, I'm doing this, let's get rid of the volleyball team, blah blah blah. We need to put Shiji came out of the limo, Mia will love this comeback story of the track team and all that shit." And he's like, "Oh yeah, what about that one child man?" And like, "Oh, don't worry, I took care of him." And then Ryuji tells us all the stuff to the track team, and then one of the track team members, tells "Oh, that was the guy that snitched to Kama Shithead about your mom, right?" And he's like, and he doesn't get mad because he's like, let all that shit go. He's gotten over all the shit having Kama Shithead. He's not holding any more grudges, or at least he's gotten over. He's not gonna get pissed off at the guy that told Kama Shithead, right? But they still really like Ryuji. They're still not, they still think he's a traitor for what he did. So he's like, if you guys just want to swing at me, come on, swing at me. And they're like, okay. So then they start popping their knuckles, and Ryuji's like, "Oh shit, I think you guys are serious?" Like, yeah. And so they get a couple punches, which I don't think that was actually in the game either. I think that might have also been anime original, although I could be wrong on that front as well. I don't know. I don't think he got punched, but maybe he did. I'm just not remembering it right. And so after that, Kira helps him up, and Ryuji says okay, it looks like their guys are fine now to restart the track team, and so then they go ahead over to the ramen shop, and they kind of celebrate the return of the track team, and that's where the episode ends. But we do get a post-credit scene where we see, two personas fused together, and then we have, Igor tell him, like, yes, your rehabilitation is going pretty smoothly. And then we see, go back to the future, or to the present after a car accident where, Sai, actually, while she's interrogating Kira, talks about, about their next target, this gangster. I forget his name. And she's like, well, how did you guys take care of big fish like this? Answer me, damn it. And then that's where the episode really ends. Now, I'm going to tell you guys right now, out of all really out of all the guys who had to change the heart, he is probably the least interesting from what I can remember, or at least has like the less really interesting motivation and really, man, makes you hate him like you did the other. Like with Kama Shithead, we all hated him for what he did to Shiho and the others. With Madarame, it was a shit with Yusuke and his mom. With this guy, he's just kind of like that cliche gangster. Like I think he does like sex trafficking and other shit. He he puts people in people in debt and has them pay it off by doing illegal shit. Like it's typical gangster shit. Not really stuff that really makes you hate him. Like Kama Shithead or Madarame. And even though the future guys are like after this, the guy after that and also the last guy are not really that interesting in my personal opinion. That's though my memory could be forgetting about this made him like, oh yeah, now I really hate you, like I hate Kama Shithead, I hate Madarame. I don't really remember anything like that, although my memory might be just fucking around with me today. So yeah. And also in the next episode we see that Makoto. She'll be getting her true introduction next week, so that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be fun to see. Looking forward to when Futaba finally gets introduced, because man, I'm looking forward to seeing Best Girl finally in the anime adaptation. That's going to be fun whenever we get to that part. So yeah, overall, I give this episode a 10 out of 10. This episode was fantastic. I love that this episode definitely focused more on the confidences, kind of like just going breeze into Ryuji's whole confidant, and then showing up parts of Kawakami. I do hope we also saw a little bit of Takemi, as well, about top of the clinical trials and shit. So hopefully we all see a little bit of her, because her confidant was also pretty good. I want to see Kawakami's a little bit more though. And hopefully we see some of the other members. Like I can understand if they cut out some of the characters, they don't really focus on the photographer's character or the fortune teller's confidant, because their confidants weren't all that entertaining. I mean, they were fine, I guess, but I was like, whatever. Like I remember when you expect to compare them to Futaba, Kawakami, Takemi, and even Oz was also pretty good, as well as Yusuke's as well. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new, follow my Instagram and Twitter if you like, links are dropped below, and as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.
She's too bad,